Today I want to share our top 10 favorite curriculum that me and my girls have been loving this year. Now our curriculum changes year to year, so in the years past we've had different favorites, but this is what we're using this year that we really love. So this includes my favorite, this includes in each of my daughter's favorite, my first grader and my fifth grader. I asked them, what is your top 3 favorite? And they gave me their top 3 favorites. So first, this one is mine. I really love it. My girls do too. It is How Great Is Our God. This is 100 indescribable devotions about God and science. It's very quick. It only takes a few minutes to read. And basically what it does is it describes a scientific fact, and they include all different things, facts about the human body and space and plants and animals. So it's not limited to one genre of science, but it ties it back to like living biblically and how God created us and designed us to live, and how it can tie back to that scientific fact. So they do a really clever way of tying them together. This is not our entire devotional. We do this a few times a week. We'll read a few of these a week, and we just have really liked it. Me and my girls really love those little science factoids, just those random science facts. And I do love how it combines it and meshes it together to bring it back to God. So this one has been really good. Next is my daughter. She chose this one. This was The Good and the Beautiful Science. It's her favorite science. So we are doing marine biology right now. We're a few lessons in, so I can't speak too much into it, but we're really enjoying it so far. Very interesting, very colorful, engaging. We love life science around here, biology type sciences. And so this one has been really good. We have used several of their units. Some we've preferred better than others, but overall my daughter really, really loves The Good and the Beautiful Science. I like how it's broken up into manageable sections. So the lessons, there's like 14 lessons or so. So you're not studying marine biology for the whole year, but you're getting a good look into it. And it's more than just a small unit study where you're only studying it for a week or two. So you can study it for a few months and then move on to something else, which is what I really, really enjoy about The Good and the Beautiful Science. Speaking of The Good and the Beautiful Science, so that was my fifth grader. That's her favorite one. That was made her top 3. Then Lola, she's my first grader. For her, we have been doing Little Fields and Flowers, which is also from The Good and the Beautiful. This is a K to second grade science. So it is very light, gentle. If you want just a quick, gentle introductory science, this is so cute, so adorable. There's 30 lessons, so it's not overwhelming. It literally, I timed it the other day. It took us 5 minutes. If you want to start science, but you're like, that's too much for my children and my child is only in kindergarten or something, this is very, very doable. We love it. And it also comes with, it alternates. So 1 week we'll read a book out of here, out of this big book of science stories. And then the next week they have like a little 3 or 4 minute kind of like documentary, nature documentary, age appropriate, of course. And so that has been really fun and interesting. And then there's some comprehension facts at the end to make sure they were listening. And then there's optional activities. I don't think we've ever done any of the optional activities, but they're there if you want to use them. Next, I want to share a resource. This is an online resource, and this is more of not so much a curriculum, but it can be used definitely for homeschoolers or non-homeschoolers. And it is Night Zookeeper. I have shared about Night Zookeeper several times before. My oldest daughter in 5th grade started it last summer, and she is really, really enjoying it. It's not only a creative writing program, that's their main focus, but they also incorporate other aspects of grammar and spelling as well. So writing is not her favorite, strongest suit. So it's not something that she particularly loves and enjoys and is always thrilled about. But when it comes to Night Zookeeper, it's fun. It feels like a game. She doesn't have to focus on the pressure of like, am I gonna, of how am I writing this? However, they do incorporate feedback, and so she can see how she did write this creative writing topic or this sentence, and is it structured, grammatically correct. And so I appreciate that, is that she is still learning, but it feels like she's playing a fun game, and so she has been enjoying it. Again, it's not part of our formal curriculum, but mostly on like Fridays she picks it up, and kind of just whenever she feels like it, she picks it up, and it is more of a fun game-based approach, which I remember as a kid, I always loved that. I didn't didn't realize I was learning and having those math facts or grammar facts or whatever cemented into my brain, but I know it really does work. And so for her, we're going to continue using Night Zookeeper. I do have a link in my description, and you can get 50% off of a yearly subscription to Night Zookeeper. You don't have to have a code or anything. You just click the link and it will automatically take that discount off for you. And the great thing is if you have multiple kids, they add discounts on top of that for every kid that you have. So it is great for across the board, younger, older, wherever. I think it's really a fun program. And so that is something that is definitely part of our top 10 favorite curriculum for the year. Next is one that I chose. This is Fix It Grammar. I have incorporated this with my 5th grader. We don't use this as our primary grammar. There's a lot of people who do. They pair it with the IEW writing program. This goes along with it. I just use this as a supplement. So on Fridays, she doesn't do her normal grammar. She does Fix It Grammar, and she'll just do a week's worth of lessons. It's very simple, but it's very comprehensive as well. So I like that. I like that they are efficient, but getting in a lot of good practical grammar rules and grammar usage. So what one week would look like, it gives a little lesson, and then they have to, if you do span this out for the week, they would just take apart one sentence a day and then rewrite it. I have recently been not having her rewrite it. I just am focusing on her making sure she is able to identify all the grammar in each subject. And then if she can write it, that's fine, but I don't make her rewrite it. I'm more focused on if she gets the grammar and understands that. And it's been really helpful, I think. You wouldn't think just like a sentence a day or, doing this once a week would be helpful, but it really has. And I feel like I'm pretty good at grammar, and it's been really like, I have to think about that one. So it's even making me think. So I really think it's really good for her. Fix It Grammar. Next is one that Larissa chose. She is, again, my 5th grader. She has been doing Evan Moore spelling. She's done this the past several years, not last year, we took a break, but the year before that, and I think even years before that, we always go a grade ahead. So she's in 5th grade, but she's doing the year 6 because their spelling is a little bit on the gentler side. So that is pretty good. If you have a not strong speller, you can go on grade level and it would be perfect. But if you have a stronger speller who's fairly average to strong, I would say go a grade ahead. And we like it. It's only 30 weeks. There is different activities each day, and there is enough to last for the entire week. And then at the end on Fridays, she has a spelling test. It is black and white, and there's no color or anything like that, but she really enjoys it. She's sad because it only goes up to level 6, so next year she's got to find a different spelling to go with. So she's a little bit bummed about that. Next, we have what Lola chose. She is my 1st grader. She chose as her top 3 the Good and the Beautiful Language Arts. She has really been enjoying this. We have just switched mid-year through. We did abeka with her, and it just wasn't a good fit, even though it's been a good fit for my other children. And I really love abeka. She has switched over to the Good and the Beautiful, and she absolutely loves it. She's like, it's like they went into my brain and they took all my thoughts and they put them together in a book, and then even added things that I didn't even know I wanted to do. And so I felt like that was a really good summary of how she feels about the book. Now, I have used the Good and the Beautiful on and off before with my other children. Last year I used it for my 2nd grader, and it didn't work out well. I have a video on that, how it was not a really good fit for her, and I realized it at the end of the year, how she didn't really comprehend or grasp or retain anything. And so you might be wondering, well, why are you doing it again? Because this year it's a different focus. With her, I'm not focusing so much on grammar. We are focusing more on phonics and reading. And I will say personally, I'm not sure about how strong their phonics is, because I have been used to using abeka, and I still use their phonics charts and abeka's phonics their readers and their phonics charts. I have not picked up the Good and the Beautifuls just because I already had the other stuff in possession. So We're just continuing with that, but we're just using this as the workbook. So for her, again, she is really loving every aspect about it. They incorporate poetry and art, and you know, she gets to not only see art, classic art, but she gets to draw herself, and there's little fun animals and everything in there. So she really appreciates this. For her grammar, so that was her top 3. She went from hating grammar to absolutely loving it. Next is one of my favorites, and my girls love it too, but this is just one that I happen to choose, and it is Around the World with Picture Books. This is part 2. So we did part 1 last year that covered Africa and Asia, Australia and Antarctica. This one covers Europe and South America. And so we're about halfway through this book, and we have just been loving it. I'm going to be sad when we're finished with it this coming year and we have to move on to something else, but we have really, really enjoyed it. My daughters really enjoy listening to the picture books. There's also poetry, and there's artist studies, and you can learn biographies about great artists and great composers and just the culture of certain times. Now, it does not go into super depth, so if you're wanting to learn about really truly deep cultural studies of Europe or South America, you would have to supplement and add in your own. This is geared towards grade 1 to 4. So keep that in mind when you're thinking about it. But even my 5th grader, she enjoys it. I know older kids like it as well. And I even love it as an adult. I love reading the picture books, and it flows really nicely at the very end. There's always cuisines from each country that you can make. So there's so many different aspects of this. And so we have really, really enjoyed it. If you want to see kind of videos and flip throughs and things, I have a whole Beautiful Feet book playlist, and you can see how we've done lessons and curriculum flip throughs and all of that. And so I will do another lesson with us for this year. I haven't done one covering this unit, so I will have that coming up. But this, by far, I have nothing negative to say about this. This is truly one of our favorite, most endearing curriculums that we have used. And then my daughter's favorite for history, this is Larissa. She's doing this one on her own, she's doing it independently, but I am going over reviewing with her and summarizing each chapter. But this is Old World History and Geography. This is from Abeka. I remember doing this in 5th grade, so there's kind of some nostalgia here too. I let her choose which world history curriculum she wanted to do. I gave her a few options and we narrowed it down. She ultimately chose this one. So she has been learning about from ancient to modern times of Asia, the Middle East, from the ancient civilizations all the way to what it looks like today. Same with Africa long ago and how it looks today. Europe, it's going to end with Australia, Oceania, and Antarctica. And again, it's Old World History. The following year is New World History, so that covers all of North and South America. And so I don't think we're going to continue with it next year, because we're going to probably head in a different direction. But she has been really enjoying this. Even though it's textbook, we got this secondhand, it's nothing flashy or fancy. She has been enjoying it and she really loves it. And she said she's been learning a lot through it. So that one is her favorite. And then lastly is Lola's favorite. Again, this was part of her top 3, was The Good and the Beautiful Math. So let me show you here. It's a little falling apart here. Ugh, this happens all the time with their spiral bound subjects. But anyway, so this is Math 1. She has been doing The Good and the Beautiful Math since last year in kindergarten. Now, I just made a video about curriculum I'm considering for next year and how we are actually going to be switching from The Good and the Beautiful Math to in a different direction. And I actually plan on making a whole video on why the curriculum just isn't fitting for us anymore, even though I never thought I would say that. It's just, for me, what I would like and how to see math taught and how I would like it to be approached is just not coming through with the new version of The Good and the Beautiful. We've always done the old version, and that was what I really, really loved. And a lot has changed. And so even though she loves it, and you're thinking, well, why are you changing it if your daughter loves it? I know there's other math programs out there that she would love equally, if not more, that are still colorful, game-based curriculum that will just teach the subjects a little bit more thoroughly, in my in my estimation, in my opinion. And so that again, I'm gonna put this in here because she loves it. And so that video, I'm not sure which order I will have these. It might already be out by the time you're watching this as far as why we're changing math, or it might be out soon. So it depends on what order I have these filmed and edited and published. So that is wrapping up our top 10 favorite curriculum. Again, some of it was just stuff we all agreed on. Some of it was individual to each of my daughters, but those were just things that we're really loving and enjoying this year. I always love the curriculum when you just finally find something that works really well and that you're enjoying it, your children are enjoying it, you see them thriving, and even them choosing curriculum that maybe not you don't love as much, but they think is really great. And that's kind of cool to see like what they choose for their own curriculum. So anyway, I'd love to hear, what are your thoughts? What are your opinions on some of your favorite curriculum that you have used this year? Please make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you have not already done so. I would love to have you around here. I hope you have a great day, and I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.